Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Titus Andronicus Cast 2. I'm very excited that you're here to join us. This is our, oh my gosh, 22nd Zoom Shakespeare production. So cool. All right, everyone, please enjoy Titus Andronicus.
Noble patricians, patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause with arms, and countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I am his firstborn son, that was the last that wore the imperial diadem of Rome. Then let my father's honors live in me, not wrong mine age with this indignity.
Romans, friends, followers, favorers of my right, if ever Bassianus, Caesar's son, were gracious in the eyes of royal Rome, keep then this passage to the Capitol, and suffer not dishonor to approach the imperial seat, to virtue consecrate, to justice, continence, and nobility. But let desert and pure election shine in Romans. Fight for freedom in your choice.
Princes that strive by factions and by friends, ambitiously for rule and empery, know that the people of Rome for whom we stand, a special party, have by common voice chosen Andronicus, surnamed Pious, for many good and great deserts to Rome. A nobler man, a braver warrior, lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is a city home from weary wars against the barbarous Goths. That with his son, a terror to our foes, have yoked a nation strong, trained up in arms. 10 years are spent since first he undertook this cause of Rome and chastised with arms our enemy's pride. 5 times he has returned bleeding to Rome, bearing his valiant sons in coffins from the field. And now, at last, laden with horror spoils, returns the good Andronicus to Rome. Renowned Titus, flourishing in arms. Let us entreat by honor of his name, whom worthily you would have now succeed, and in the Capitol and Senate's right, whom you pretend to honor and adore, that you withdraw you and abate your strength. Dismiss your followers, and as suitors should, heed your deserts in peace and humbleness.
Oh, how fair the tribune speaks to calm my thoughts.
Marcus Andronicus, so I do ally in thy uprightness and integrity, and so I love and honor thee in thine, thy noble brother Titus and his sons, and to her to whom my thoughts are humbled all, gracious Lavinia, Rome's rich ornaments, that I will here dismiss my loving friends, and to my fortunes in the people's favor commit my cause in balance to be weighed.
Friends that have been thus forward in my right, I thank you all and dismiss you all here. And to the love and favor of my country, commit myself, my person, and the cause.
Hail Rome, victorious in thy morning weeds. Lo, as the bark that hath discharged her fraught returns with precious jading to the bay from whence at first she weighed her anchorage, cometh Andronicus, bowed with laurel boughs to pre-salute his country with his tears, tears of true joy for his return to Rome. Thou great defender of the capital, stand gracious to the rights that we intend. Romans, of 25 valiant sons, half the number that King Priam had, behold the poor remains, alive and dead. Those that survive, let Rome reward with love. Those that I bring unto their latest home with burial amongst their ancestors. Here, Goths have given me leave to sheathe my sword. Titus, unkind and careless of thine own, why sufferest thou thy sons, unburied yet, to hover on the dreadful shore of Styx? Make way to lay them by their brethren. The tomb is opened. There greet in silence, as the dead are wont, and sleep in peace, slain in your country's wars. O sacred receptacle of my joys, sweet cell of virtue and nobility, how many sons hast thou in store that will never render to me more?
Give us the proudest prisoner of the Goths, that we may hew his limbs, and on a pile ad manes fratrum sacrifice his flesh, before this earthly prison of their bones, that so the shadows be not unappeased, nor we disturbed with prodigies on earth.
I give him you, the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen.
Hey, Roman brethren, gracious emperor, conqueror, victorious Titus, rue the tears I shed, a mother's tears in passion for her son. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my son to be as dear to me. Sufficeth not that we are brought to Rome to beautify thy triumphs and return captive to thee and to thy Roman yoke, but must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Oh, if to fight for king and commonweal were piety in thine, it is in these. Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Patience yourself, madam, and pardon me. These are their brethren, whom you Goths beheld alive and dead, and for their brethren slain, religiously they ask for a sacrifice. To this your son is marked, and die he must, to appease the groaning shadows that are gone.
Away with him, and make a fire straight, and with our swords upon a pile of wood let us hew his limbs until they be clean consumed.
Oh, cruel, irreligious piety!
Was Cynthia ever half so barbarous?
Capacious Rome, Alarbus goes to rest, and we survive to tremble under Titus's threatening looks. Then, madame, stand and resolve, but hope withal the self-same gods that armed the Queen of Troy with the opportunity of sharp revenge upon the Thracian tyrant in his tent may favor Tamora, Queen of the Goths, and when Goths were Goths and Tamora was queen, to quit the bloody wrongs upon her foes.
So much of my ability to achieve.
See, Lord and Father, how we have performed our Roman rites. Alarbus' limbs are lopped, and entrails feed the sacrificing fire, whose smoke, like incense, doth perfume the sky. Remaineth naught but to inter our brethren, and with loud larums welcome them to Rome.
Let it be so, and let Andronicus make this latest farewell to their souls. Trumpet sounded, and the coffin laid in the tomb. In peace and honor rest you here, my sons. Rome's readiest champions, repose you here in rest. secure from worldly chances and mishaps. Here lies no treason, here no envy swells, here grow no damned grudges, here are no storms, no noise, but silence and eternal sleep. In peace and honor, rest you here, my sons.
In peace and honor, live Lord Titus long. My noble lord and father, live in fame. Lo, at this tomb, my tributary tears I render for my brethren's obsequies. And at thy feet I kneel with tears of joy, shed on the earth for thy return to Rome. Oh, bless me here with thy victorious hand, whose fortunes Rome's best citizens applaud.
Kind Rome, that hast thus lovingly reserved the cordial of mine age to glad my heart. Lavinia, live! Outlive thy father's days, and fame's eternal date for virtue's praise.
Long live Lord Titus, my beloved father, gracious triumpher in the eyes of Rome.
Thanks, gentle tribune, noble brother Marcus.
And welcome, nephews from successful wars, you that survive, and you that sleep in fame. Titus Andronicus, people of Rome, whose friend in justice thou hast ever been, send thee by me their tribute and their trust, this Parliament of white and spotless hue, and name thee in election for the empire. With these our late deceased emperor's sons. Be candidatus then, and put it on, and help to set a head on headless Rome.
A better head her glorious body fits than his that shakes for age and feebleness. What, should I don this robe and trouble you? Be chosen with proclamations today. Tomorrow, yield up rule, resign my life, and set abroad new business for you all? Rome, I have been thy soldier for 40 years, and led my country's strength successfully, and buried 21 valiant sons, knighted in field, slain manfully in arms, in right and service of their noble country. Give me a staff of honor for mine age, but not a scepter to control the world. Upright he held it, lords, that held it last.
Titus, thou shalt obtain and ask the emperor.
Proud and ambitious tribune, canst thou tell?
Patience, Prince Saturninus.
Romans, do me right. Patricians, draw your swords, and sheathe them not, till Saturninus be Rome's emperor. Andronicus, would thou wert shipped to hell rather than rob me of the people's hearts.
Proud Saturnine, interrupter of the good that noble-minded Titus means to thee.
Content thee, Prince, I will restore to thee the people's hearts and wean them from themselves.
Andronicus, I do not flatter thee, but honor thee, and will do till I die. My faction, if thou strengthen with thy friends, I will be most thankful, and thanks to men of noble minds is honorable meed.
People of Rome, and people's tribunes here, I ask your voices and your suffrages. Will you bestow them friendly on Andronicus?
Aye.
I thank you, and this suit I make, that you create your emperor's eldest son, Lord Saturnine, whose virtues will, I hope, reflect on Rome as Titans raise on earth, and ripen justice in this commonweal. Then, if you will elect by my advice, crown him, and say, "Long live our emperor!"
With voices and applause of every sort, patricians and plebeians, we create Lord Saturninus, Rome's great emperor, and say, "Long live our Emperor Saturnine!"
Titus Andronicus, for thy favors done to us in our election this day, I give thee thanks in part of thy deserts, and will with deeds requite thy gentleness. And for an onset, Titus, to advance thy name and honorable family, Lavinia will I make my empress, Rome's royal mistress of my heart, and in the sacred pantheon her espouse. Tell me, Andronicus, doth this motion please thee?
It doth, my worthy lord. And in this match I hold me highly honored of your grace. And here in sight of Rome to Saturninus, king and commander of our commonweal, the wide world's emperor, do I consecrate my sword, my chariot, and my prisoners. Presents well worthy Rome's imperial lord. Receive them then, the tribute that I owe. Mine's honors ensigns humbled at thy feet.
Thanks, noble Titus, father of my life. How proud I am of thee and of thy gifts, Rome shall record. And when I do forget the least of these unspeakable deserts, Romans, forget your fealty to me.
Now, madam, you are prisoner to an emperor, to him that for your honor and your state will use you nobly, and your followers.
A goodly lady, trust me, of the hue that I would choose were I to choose anew. Clear up, fair queen, that cloudy countenance, though chance of war hath wrought this change of cheer. Thou comest not to be made a scorn in Rome. Princely shall be thy usage every way. Rest on my word, and let not discontent daunt all your hopes. Madam, he comforts you, can make you greater than the Queen of Goths. Lavinia, you're not displeased with this?
Not I, my lord, sith true nobility warrants these words in princely courtesy.
Thanks, sweet Lavinia. Romans, let us go. Ransomless here, we set our prisoners free. Proclaim our honors, lords, with trump and drum.
Lord Titus, by your leave, this maid is mine.
How, sir, are you in earnest then, my lord?
I, noble Titus, and resolved withal to do myself this reason and this right.
Sum cuique is our Roman justice. This prince in justice sees it, but his own.
And that he will and shall if Lucius live.
Traitors, avaunt! Where is the emperor's guard? Treason, my lord! Lavinia is surprised!
Surprised? By whom?
By him that justly may bear his betrothed from all the world away.
Brothers, help to convey her hence away, and with my sword I'll keep this door safe.
Follow, my lord, and I'll soon bring her back.
Oh, my lord, you pass not here.
What villain boy barrest my way to Rome?
Oh, Lucius, help! Oh.
My lord, you are unjust, and more than so. In wrongful quarrel you have slain your daughter.
Nor thou, nor she, nor any sons of mine. None of them are sons of mine. My sons would never so dishonor me. Traitor, restore Lavinia to the emperor.
Dead, if you will, but not to be his wife. That is another's lawful promised love.
No, Titus, no. The emperor needs her not. Not her, nor thee, nor any of thy stock. I'll trust by leisure him that mocks me once. thee never, nor thy traitorous haughty sons, confederates all thus to dishonor me. Was there none else in Rome to make a stale but Saturnine? Full well, Andronicus, agree these deeds without proud brag of thine that said, I beggeth the empire at thy hands.
O monstrous! What reproachful words are these?
But go thy ways, go. Give that changing peace to him that flourishes for her with his sword. A valiant son-in-law thou shalt enjoy, one fit to bandy with thy lawless sons, to ruffle in the commonwealth of Rome.
These words are razors to my wounded heart.
And therefore, lovely Tamara, queen of Goths, that like the stately Phoebe amongst her nymphs doth overshine the gallantest dames of Rome, if thou be pleased with this my sudden choice, behold, I choose thee, Tamara, for my bride, and will create thee empress of Rome. Speak, queen of Goths, dost thou applaud my choice? And here I swear by all the Roman gods, sith priest and holy water are so near, and tapers burn so bright, and everything in readiness for the hymeneal stand, I will not resalute the streets of Rome, or climb my palace, till from forth this place I lead espoused my bride along with me.
And here, in sight of heaven, to Rome I swear, if Saturnine advance the Queen of Goths, she will a handmaid be to his desires, a loving nurse, a mother to his youth.
Oh, ascend, fair queen, Pantheon, lords, accompany your noble emperor and his lovely bride, sent by the heavens for Prince Saturnine, whose wisdom hath her fortune conquered. There shall we consummate our spousal rites.
I am not bid to wait upon this bride. Titus, when wert thou wont to walk alone, dishonored thus, and challenged of wrongs?
Oh, Titus. Oh, see what thou hast done. That quarrel slain thy virtuous daughter.
No, foolish tribune, no. No son of mine. Nor thou, nor these confederates in the field that have dishonored all our family. Unworthy brother and unworthy son!
But let us give her burial as becomes. Give Mucius burial with our brethren.
Traitors away! She rests not in this tomb! This monument 500 years hath stood, which I have sumptuously re-edified. Here none but soldiers and Rome servitors repose in fame, none basely slain in brawls. Bury him where you can, he comes not here.
My lord, this is impiety in you. My nephew, Titus's deeds do plead for him. She must be buried with his brethren.
And shall, or him we will accompany.
And shall! What villain was it that spake that word?
He that would vouch it in any place but here.
What, would you bury her in my despite?
No, noble Titus, but entreat of thee to pardon Titus and to bury him.
Arcius, even thou hast struck upon my crest, And with these boys and girls, mine honor thou hast wounded. My foes I do repute you, everyone. So trouble me no more, but get you gone.
He is not with himself. Let us withdraw.
Not I, till Mucius' bones be buried.
Father, for in that name doth nature plead.
Father, and in that name doth nature speak.
Speak thou no more, if all the rest will speed.
Renowned Titus, more than half my soul.
Dear Father, soul and substance of us all,
Suffer my brother Marcus to enter his noble nephew here in virtue's nest, that died in honor and Lavinia's cause. Thou art a Roman. Be not barbarous. The Greeks, for advice, did bury Ajax, and slew himself. And wise Laertes' son did graciously plead for his funerals. Let not young Titus then, that was thy joy, be barred hence, be barred his entrance here.
Haste, Marcus, rise. The dismalest day that e'er I saw, to be dishonored by my sons in Rome. Well, bury him, and bury me the next.
there lie thy bones, sweet Mucius, with thy friends, till we with trophies do adorn thy tomb.
No man shed tears for noble Mucius. She lives in fame that died in virtue's cause.
My lord, to step out of these dreary dumps, how comes it that the subtle queen of Goths is of a sudden thus advanced in Rome?
I know not, Marcus, but I know it is. Whether by device or no, the heavens can tell. Is she not then beholding to the man that brought her for this high good turn so far? Yes, and will nobly him remunerate.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys. So, Bassianus, you've played your prize. God give you joy, sir, of your gallant bride.
And you of yours, my lord. I say no more, nor wish no less. And so I take my leave.
Traitor! If Rome have law or we have power, thou and thy faction shall repent this rape.
Rape, call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my truth betrothed love, and now my wife? But let the laws of Rome determine all. Meanwhile, I am possessed of that is mine.
'Tis good, sir, you are very short with us, but if we live, we'll be as sharp with you.
My lord, what I have done as best I may, answer I must and shall do with my life. Only thus much I give your grace to know, by all the duties that I owe to Rome, this noble gentleman, Lord Titus here, is in opinion and in honor wronged. That in the rescue of Lavinia with his own hand did slay his youngest child, in zeal to you and highly moved to wrath to be controlled, in that he frankly gave. Receive him then to favor Saturnine, that hath expressed himself in all his deeds, a father and a friend to thee and Rome.
Prince Bassianus, leave to plead my deeds. 'Tis thou and those that have dishonored. Rome and the righteous heavens be my judge, how I have loved and honored Saturnine.
My worthy lord, if ever Tamra were gracious in those princely eyes of thine, then hear me speak indifferently for all, and at my suit sweet, pardon what is past.
What, madam, be dishonored openly and basely put it up without revenge?
Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake for good Lord Titus' innocence in all, whose fury not dissembled speaks his griefs. Then at my suit look graciously on him. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. Be won at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne. Lest then the people and patricians too, upon a just survey, take Titus' part, and so supplant you for ingratitude, which Rome reputes to be a heinous sin, yield at entreats, and then let me alone. I'll find a day to massacre them all and raise their faction and their family. The cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain.
Yeah.
Come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus. Take up this good old man and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown.
Rise, Titus, rise. My empress has prevailed.
I thank your majesty, and her, my lord. These words, these looks, infuse new life in me.
Titus, I am incorporate in Rome, a Roman now adopted happily, and must advise the emperor for his good. This day all quarrels die, Andronicus, and let it be mine honor, good my lord, that I have reconciled your friends and you. For you, Prince Bassianus, I have passed my word and promise to the emperor that you will be more mild and tractable. And fear not, lords, and you, Lavinia, by my advice, all humbled on your knees, you shall ask pardon of his majesty.
We do, and vow to heaven and to his highness that what we did was mildly as we might, tendering our sister's honour and our own.
That, on my honor, here, I do protest.
Away, and talk not. Trouble us no more.
Nay, nay, sweet emperor, we must all be friends. The tribune and his nephews kneel for grace. I will not be denied. Sweetheart, look back.
Marcus, for thy sake and thy brothers here, and at my lovely Tamara's entreats, I do remit these young men's heinous faults. Stand up! Lavinia, though you left me like a churl, I found a friend. And sure as death I swore I would not part a bachelor from the priest. Come, if the emperor's court can feast 2 brides, you're my guest, Lavinia, and your friends. This day shall be a love day. Tamara?
Tomorrow, if it please your majesty to hunt the panther in the heart with me, with horn and hound will give you your grace bonjour.
Be it so, Titus, and gramercy too.
Now climbeth Tamara Olympus's top, safe out of fortune's shot, and sits aloft, secure of thunder's crack or lightning flash, advanced above pale envy's threatening reach. Then, Aaron, arm thy heart and fit thy thoughts to mount aloft with thy imperial mistress, and mount her pitch, whom thou in triumph long hast prisoner held, fettered in amorous change, and faster bound to Aaron's charming eyes than is Prometheus tied to Caucasus. Away with slavish weeds and servile thoughts. I will be bright and shine in pearl and gold to wait upon this new-made empress. To wait, said I, to wanton with this queen, this goddess, this siren that will charm Rome's Saturnine, and see his shipwreck and his commonweals. Holla, what storm is this?
Huron, thy years want wit, thy wit wants edge, and manners to intrude where I am graced, and may, for aught thou knowest, affected be.
Demetrius, thou dost overween in all, and so in this, to bear me down with brave. 'Tis not a difference of a year or two makes me less gracious, or thee less fortunate. I am as able and as fit as thou to serve and to deserve my mistress's grace, and that my sword upon thee shall approve and plead my passions for Lavinia's love.
Clubs, clubs, these lovers will not keep the peace.
Why, boy, although our mother unadvised gave you the dancing rapier by your side, you are so desperate grown to threaten your friends? Go to, and you have your laugh glued within your sheath, that till you know how better to handle it.
Meanwhile, ma'am, with little skill I have, full well shalt thou possess how much I dare.
Aye, boy, grow ye so brave?
Why, how now, lords? So near the Emperor's palace dare you draw and maintain such a quarrel openly? Full well I wot the ground of all this grudge. I would not for 1,000,000 of gold the cause were known to them it most concerns. Nor would your noble mother for much more be so dishonored in the court of Rome. For shame! Put up!
Not I, till I have sheathed my rapier in his bosom, and withal thrust these reproachful speeches down his throat, that he has had breathed in my dishonor here.
That I am prepared and full resolved. Foul-spoken coward, thou thunderest with thy tongue, and with thy weapon nothing darest perform.
Away, I say! Now, by the gods that warlike Goths adore, this petty brabble will undo us all. Why, lords, and think you not how dangerous it is to jet upon a prince's right? What is Lavinia then become so loose, or Bassianus so degenerate, that for her love such quarrels may be broached, without controlment, justice, or revenge? Young lords, beware! And should the empress know this discord's ground, the music would not please.
I care not. I know she, I know the world. I love Lavinia more than the whole world.
Youngling, learn thou to make some meaner choice. Lavinia is thine elder sister's hope.
Why, are ye mad? Or know ye not in Rome how furious and impatient they be, and cannot brook competitors in love? I tell you, lords, you do but plot your deaths by this device.
Aaron, 1,000 deaths would I purpose to achieve her I love.
To achieve her? How?
Why makest thou it so strange? She is a woman, therefore may be wooed. She is a woman, therefore may be won. She is Lavinia, therefore must be loved. What man? More water glideth by the mill than watts of the miller of, and easy it of a cut loaf to steal a shive. We know that son be the emperor's brother. We have better than we have worn the Vulcan's badge.
Aye, and as good as Saturninus may.
Then why should she despair that knows to court it with words fair liberality. What? Hast thou not full often struck a doe, and borne her cleanly to by the keeper's nose?
Why then, it seems, some certain snatch or so would serve your turns.
Aye, so the turn was served.
Aaron, thou hast hit it.
Would you have hit it too? Then should not we be tired with this ado? Why, hark ye, are you such fools to square for this? Would it offend you then that both should speed?
Faith, not me.
Nor me, so I were one.
For shame. Be friends and join for that you jar. 'Tis policy and stratagem must do that you affect, and so must you resolve that what you cannot as you would achieve. You must perforce accomplish as you may. Take this of me. Lucrece was not more chaste than this Lavinia, Bassininus's love. A speedier course than lingering languishment must we pursue, and I have found the path. My lords, a solemn hunting is in hand. There will the lovely Roman ladies troop. The forest walks are wide and spacious, and many unfrequented plots there are fitted by kind for rape and villainy. Single you thither than this dainty doe, and strike her home by force, if not by words. This way, or not at all, stand you in hope. Come, come, our empress, with her sacred wit, to villainy and vengeance consecrate. Will we acquaint with all that we intend, and she shall file our engines with advice. That will not suffer you to square yourselves, but to your wishes, height advance you both. The emperor's court is like a house of fame, the palace full of tongues, of eyes and ears. The woods are ruthless, dreadful, deaf and dull. There, speak and strike, brave boys, and take your turns. There serve your lusts, shadowed from heaven's eye, and revel in Lavinia's treasury.
Thy counsel, lad, smells of no cowardice.
Be it right or wrong, till I find the stream to cool this heat, a charm to calm these fits. Through hellish realms I am carried.
The hunt is up. The moon is bright and gray. The fields are fragrant and the woods are green. Uncouple here and let us make a bay and wake the emperor and his lovely bride and rouse the prince and ring a hunter's peal, that all the court may echo with this noise. Son and daughter, let it be your charge, as it is ours, to attend the emperor's person carefully. I have been troubled in my sleep this night, but dawning day new comfort hath inspired. A cry of hounds and horns winded in a peal.
And you have rung it lustily, my lord, somewhat too early for new married ladies.
Oh, many good morrows to your majesty, madam, to you as many and as good. I promised your grace a hunter's peal.
And you've rung it lustily, my lord, somewhat too early for new married ladies.
Lavinia, how say you?
I say no. I have been broad awake 2 hours and more.
Come on then, horse and chariots, let us have and to our sport. Madam, now shall ye see our Roman hunting.
As dogs, my lord, will rouse the proudest panther in the chase and climb the highest promontory top.
And I of horse will follow where the game makes way and run like swallows o'er the plain.
Chiron, we hunt not, we with horse nor hound, but to pluck a dainty doe to ground.
that had wit would think that I had none. To bury so much gold under a tree and never after to inherit it. Let him that thinks of me so abjectly know that this gold must coin a stratagem, which, cunningly effected, will beget a very excellent price of villainy. And so repose, sweet gold, for their unrest, that have their alms out of the empress's chest.
My lovely Erin, wherefore look'st thou sad, when everything doth make a gleeful boast?
Madam, though Venus govern your desires, Saturn is dominator over mine. What signifies my deadly standing eye, my silence and my cloudy melancholy, my fleece of woolly hair that now uncurls, even as an adder when she doth unroll to do some fatal execution? No, madam, these are no venereal signs. Vengeance is in my heart, death in my hand, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. Hark, Tamara, the empress of my soul, which never hopes more heaven than rests in thee. This is the day of doom for Bassianus. His Philomel must lose her tongue today. Thy sons make pillage of her chastity and wash their blood, or wash their hands in Bassianus's blood. Seest thou this letter? Take it up, I pray thee, and give the king this fatal plotted scroll. No, now question me no more. We are espied. Here comes a parcel of our hopeful booty, which dreads not yet their lives' destruction.
My sweet Moor, sweeter to me than life.
No more, great empress. Bassianus comes. Be cross with him, and I'll go fetch thy sons to back thy quarrels, whatsoever they be.
Who have we here? Rome's royal empress, unfurnished of her well-beseeming troop? Or is it Dian, habited like her, who hath abandoned her holy groves to see the general hunting in this forest?
Saucy controller of our private steps, had I the power that some say Dian had, thy temples should be planted presently with horns, as was Actaeon's, and the hounds should drive upon thy new transformed limbs, unmannerly intruder as thou art.
Under your patience, gentle empress, 'tis thought you have a goodly gift in horning, and to be doubted that your Moor and you are singled forth to try experiments. Jove shield your husband from his hounds today. 'Tis pity they should take him for a stag.
Believe me, queen, your swarth Cimmerian doth make your honor of his body's you spotted, detested, and abominable. Why are you sequestered from all your train, dismounted from your snow-white goodly steed, and wandered hither to an obscure plot, accompanied but with a barbarous Moor, if foul desire had not conducted you?
And being intercepted in your sport, great reason that my noble lord be rated for sauciness. I pray you, let us hence, and let her joy her raven-colored love. This valley fits the purpose passing well.
The king, my brother, shall have note of this.
Aye, for these slips have made him noted long. Good king, to be so mightily abused.
Why have I patience to endure all this?
How now, dear sovereign and our gracious mother? Why doth thou, highness, look so pale and wan?
Have I not reason, think you, to look pale? These two have ticed me hither to this place. A barren, detested vale, you see it is. The trees, though summer, yet forlorn and lean, o'ercome with moss and baleful mistletoe. Here never shines the sun, here nothing breeds, unless the nightly owl or fatal raven. And when they showed me this abhorred pit, they told me here at dead time of the night 1,000 fiends, 1,000 hissing snakes, 10,000 toads, as many urchins would make such fearful and confused cries as any mortal body hearing it should straight fall mad, or else die suddenly. No sooner had they told me this hellish tale, but straight they told me they would find me here unto the body of a dismal ewe, and leave me to this miserable death. And then they called me foul adulteress, lascivious Goth, and all the bitterest terms that ever ear did hear to such effect. And had you not by wondrous fortune come, this vengeance on me had they executed. Revenge it as you love your mother's life, or be ye not henceforth called my children.
This is a witness that I am thy daughter.
And this for me, shook home to show my strength.
Aye, come, Semiramis, nay, barbarous Tamara, for no name fits thy nature but thy own.
Give me thy poniard. You shall know, my children, your mother's hand shall right your mother's wrong.
Stay, madam. Here is more belongs to her. First thrash the corn, then after burn the straw. This minion stood upon her chastity, upon her nuptial vow, her loyalty, and with that painted hope braves your mightiness. And shall she carry this unto her grave?
And if she do, I were an eunuch. Drag hence her husband to some secret hole, and make his dead trunk pillow to our lust.
But when ye have the honey ye desire, let not this wasp outlive us both to sting.
I warrant you, madam, we will make that sure. I will make that sure. Come, mistress. Now, perforce, we will enjoy that nice preserved honesty of yours.
O Tamara, thou bearest a woman's face.
I will not hear her speak. Away with her.
Sweet lords, entreat her, hear me but a word.
Madame, your glory to see her teeth, but be your heart to them as unrelenting flint drops to drops of rain.
When did the tiger's young ones teach the dam? Oh, do not learn her wrath, she taught it thee. The milk thou suck'st from her did turn to marble. Even at thy teat thou hadst thy tyranny. Yet every mother breeds not sons alike. Do thou entreat her show a woman's pity.
What? Wouldst thou have proved myself a bastard?
'Tis true, the raven doth not hatch a lark. Yet have I heard, how could I find it now? The lion, moved with pity, did endure to have his princely paws pared all away. Some say that ravens foster forlorn children, the whilst their own birds famish in their nests. Oh, be to me, though thy hard heart say no, nothing so kind, but something pitiful.
I know not what it means. Away with her.
Oh, let me teach thee, for my father's sake, that gave thee life when, well, he might have slain thee. Be not obdurate upon open thy deaf ears.
Hadst thou in person ne'er offended me, even for his sake am I pitiless. Remember, I poured forth tears in vain to save your brother from the sacrifice, but fierce Andronicus would not relent. Therefore away with her, and use her as you will, the worse to her, the better loved of me.
Oh, Tamara, be called a gentle queen, and with thine own hands kill me in this place. For 'tis not life that I have begged so long. Poor I was slain when Bassianus died.
What begg'st thou then? Fond woman, let me go.
'Tis present death I beg, and one thing more, that womanhood denies my tongue to tell. Oh, keep me from their worse than killing lust, and tumble me into some loathsome pit where never man's eye may behold my body. Do this, and be a charitable murderer.
So should I rob my sweet children of their fee? No, let them satisfy their lust on thee.
Away, for thou hast stayed us here too long.
No grace? No womanhood? Oh, beastly creature! The blot and enemy to our general name. Confusion fall.
Nay, then I'll stop you now. Bring thou her husband. This is the hole where Aaron bid us hide him.
Farewell, my children. See that you make her sure. Ne'er let my heart know merry cheer indeed, till all the Andronici be made away. Now will I hence to seek my lovely Moor, and let my spleenful children this troll deflower.
Come on, my lords, the better foot before. Straight will I bring you to the loathsome pit where I espied the panther fast asleep.
My sight is very dull, whatever it bodes.
And mine, I promise you, were not for shame, well, could I leave our sport to sleep a while. Oh!
What, art thou fallen? What subtle hole is this, whose mouth is covered with rude growing briars, upon whose leaves are drops of new shed blood, as fresh as morning dew distilled on flowers? A very fatal place, it seems to me. Speak, brother, hast thou hurt thee with the fall?
Oh, brother, with the dismalest objects hurt, that ever I with sight made heart lament.
Now will I fetch the king to find him here, that he may give a likely guess how these were they that made away his brother.
Why dost thou not comfort me and help me out from this unhallowed and blood-stained hole?
I am surprised with an uncouth fear. A chilling sweat o'erruns my trembling joints. My heart suspects more than mine eye can see.
To prove thou hast a true divining heart, Aaron and thou look down into this den and see a fearful sight of blood and death.
Aaron is gone, and my compassionate heart will not permit mine eyes once to behold the thing whereat it trembles by surmise. Oh, tell me how it is, for ne'er till now was I a child to fear I know not what.
Lord Bassianus lies and brood here, all on a heap like to a slaughtered lamb, in this detested dark blood-drinking pit. Oh, brother, help me with thy fainting hand. If fear hath made thee faint, as me it hath, out of this fell devouring receptacle, as hateful as Casidas' misty mouth.
Reach me thy hand, for that I may help thee out, or wanting strength to do thee so much good, I may be plucked into the swallowing womb of this deep pit. Poor Bassinius' grave. I have no strength to pluck thee to the brink.
Nor I no strength to climb without thy help.
Thy hand once more, I will not loose again, till thou art here aloft, or I below. Thou canst not come to me, I come to thee.
Along with me, I'll see what hole is there, and what he is that now is leaped into it. Say, who art thou that lately didst ascend into this gaping hollow of the earth?
The unhappy son of old Andronicus, brought hither in a most unlucky hour, to find thy brother Bassianus dead.
My brother dead? I know thou dost but jest. He and his lady both are at the lodge, up on the north side of this pleasant chase. 'Tis not an hour since I left him there.
We know not where you left him all alive, but out alas here have we found him dead.
Where is my lord the king?
Here, Tamara, though grieved with killing grief.
Where is thy brother Bassianus?
Now to the bottom dost thou search my wound? Poor Bassianus lies here murdered.
Oh, then all too late I bring this fatal writ, the complot of this timeless tragedy. A wonder greatly that man's face can fold in pleasing smiles such murderous tyranny.
And if we miss to meet him handsomely, sweet huntsman, Bassianus 'tis we mean, do thou so much as dig the grave for him. Thou knowest our meaning. Look for thy reward among the nettles at the elder tree, which overshades the mouth of that same pit, where we decreed to bury Bassianus. Do this and purchase us thy lasting friends. Oh, Tamara, was ever heard the like? This is the pit, and this the elder tree. Look, sirs, if you can find the huntsman out that should have murdered Bassianus here.
My gracious lord, here is the bag of gold.
Two of thy whelps, fell curs of bloody kind, have here bereft my brother of his life. Sirs, drag them from the pit and into the prison. There let them bide until we have devised some never heard of torturing pain for them.
What, are they in this pit? A wondrous thing, how easily murder is discovered.
My emperor, upon my feeble knee, I beg this boon, with tears not lightly shed. Did this fell fault of my accursed sons, accursed if the fault be proved in them?
If it be proved, you see it as apparent. Who found this letter? Tamara, was it you?
Andronicus himself did take it up.
Mm-hmm.
I did, my lord, but yet let me be their bail. For by my father's reverend tomb, I vow they shall be ready at your highness' will to answer their suspicion with their lives.
Thou shalt not bail them. See thou follow me. Some bring the murdered body, some the murderers. Let them not speak a word. The guilt is plain, for by my soul there were worse end than death, that end upon them should be executed.
Andronicus, I will entreat the king. Fear not thy sons, they shall do well enough.
Come, Lucius, come. Stay not to talk with them.
So, now, go tell, and if thy tongue can speak, who 'twas that cut thy tongue and ravished thee?
Write down thy mind. Bewray thy meaning, though, and if thy stumps will, let thee play the scribe.
See, how with signs and tokens she can scrowl.
Go home, call for some sweet water, wash thy hands.
She hath no tongue to call, nor hands to wash, and so let's leave her to silent walks.
And swear thy case, I should go hang myself.
If thou hadst hands to keep to help thy knit the cord.
Who is this? My niece that flies away so fast. Speak, gentle niece. What stern, ungentle hands have loped and hewed and made thy body bare of her two branches? Those sweet ornaments, whose circling shadows kings have sought to sleep in, and might not gain so great a happiness as have thy love. Why dost not speak to me? But sure some Tereus hath deflowered thee, and lest thou shouldest detect him, cut thy tongue. Oh, now thou turn'st away thy face, for shame. Speak. Shall I speak for thee? Shall I say, 'tis so? Oh, that my heart. Oh, that thy heart. Oh, that I knew thy heart and knew the beast, that I might rail at him to ease my. Oh, oh, had the monster seen those lily hands tremble like aspen leaves upon a lute, and make the silken strings delight to kiss them, he would not then have touched them for his life. Come, let us go and make thy father blind, for such a sight will blind a father's eyes. 1 hour's storm will drown the fragrant meads. What will whole months of tears thy father's eyes? Do not draw back, for we will mourn with thee. Oh, could our mourning ease thy misery?
Hear me, great brothers, noble tribunes, nay, for pity of mine age whose youth was spent in dangerous wars, whilst you securely slept, for all my blood in Rome's great quarrel shed, for all the frosty nights that I have watched, and for those bitter tears which now you see filling the aged wrinkles in my cheeks, be pitiful to my condemned sons, whose souls are not corrupted as 'tis thought. No, for 22 sons I never wept, because they died in honor's lofty bed. Lieth down the judges, and for these tribunes in the dust I write. See my heart deep labor and my soul's tears. Let my tears stanch the earth's dry appetite. My son's sweet blood will make it shame and blush. I will befriend thee with more rain It shall distill from these two ancient urns, then youthful April shall with all his showers. In summer's drought I'll dump upon thee still, in winter with warm tears I'll melt the snow, and keep eternal springtime on my face, so thou refuse to drink my dear son's blood. Oh, reverend tribunes, gentle aged men, unbind my sons, reverse the doom of death, and let me say that never wept before, my tears are now prevalient curators.
O noble father, you lament in vain. The tribunes hear you not, no man is by, and you recount your sorrows to a stone.
Oh, tribunes, Lucius, for thy brothers, let me plead. Oh, grave tribunes, once more, must I entreat of you?
My gracious lord, no tribune hears you speak.
Oh, why, 'tis no matter. If they did hear, man, they would not mark me, or if they did mark, they would not pity me. Therefore, I tell my sorrows to the stones. A stone is soft as wax, tribunes more hard than stones. A stone is silent and offendeth not, and tribunes with their tongues doom men to death. But wherefore standest thou with thy weapon drawn?
To rescue my two brothers from their death, for which attempt the judges have pronounced my everlasting doom of banishment.
Oh, happy man, they have befriended thee. Why, foolish Lucius, dost thou not perceive that Rome is but a wilderness of tigers? Tigers must prey, and Rome affords no prey but me and mine. How happy art thou then from these devourers to be banished? Oh, but who comes with our brother Marcus here?
Titus, prepare thy aged eyes to weep. Or if not so, thy noble heart to break. I bring consuming sorrow to thine age.
Oh, well, will it consume me then? Well, let me see it then.
This was thy daughter.
My Marcus. So she is.
Ay me, this object kills me.
Faint-hearted girl, arise and look upon her. Oh, speak, Lavinia. What accursed hand hath made thee handless in thy father's sight? What fool hath added water to the sea, or brought a torch to bright burning Troy? My grief was at the height before thou camest. And now, like Nilus, it disdaineth bounds. Oh, give me a sword, Lucius, I'll chop off my hands too. For they have fought for Rome, and all in vain. In bootless prayer have they been held up, and now they have served to effectless use. Now all the service I require of them is that the one will help to cut the other.
Speak, gentle sister, who hath martyred thee?
Oh, that delightful engine of her thoughts is torn from forth that pretty hollow cage.
Oh, say thou for her, who hath done this deed?
Oh, thus I found her straying in the park, seeking to hide herself as doth the deer that hath received some unrecuring wound.
It was my dear, and he that wounded her hath hurt me more than he had he killed me dead. For now I stand as one upon a rock environed with a wilderness of sea. This way to death, my wretched sons are gone. Here stands my other son, a banished man, and here my brother, weeping at my woes. But that which gives my soul the greatest spurn is dear Lavinia, dearer than my soul. Had I but seen thy picture in this plight, it would have maddened me. What shall I do now I have beheld thy lively body so? Thou hast no hands to wipe away thy tears, nor tongue to tell me who hath martyred thee. Thy husband, he is dead, and for his death thy brothers are condemned and dead by this. Lord, Marcius! Oh, son Lucius, look on her! Oh, when I did name her brothers, then fresh tears stood upon her cheeks, as doth the honeydew upon a gathered lily almost with.
Perchance she weeps because they killed her husband. Perchance because she knows them innocent.
If they did kill thy husband, then be joyful, because the law hath taken revenge upon them. No, 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 they would not do so foul a deed. Oh, witness the sorrow that their sister makes. Gentle Lavinia, let me kiss thy lips, or make some sign how I may do thee ease. Shall thy good uncle and thy brother Lucius and thou and I sit round about some fountain, looking all downwards to behold our cheeks, how they are stained as meadows by a flood, or shall we cut away our hands like thine, or shall we bite our tongues and in dumb shows pass the remainder of our hateful days?
Titus Andronicus, my lord the emperor sends thee this word, that if thou love thy sons, let Marcus, Lucius, or thyself, O Titus, or any one of you, chop off your hand and send it to the king. He for the same will send thee hither both thy sons alive, and that shall be the ransom for their fault.
Oh, gracious emperor! Oh, gentle Aaron! Oh, did ever raven sing like a lark? Oh, and with all my heart, I'll send the emperor my hand. Good Aaron, wilt thou help me chop it off?
Stay, father, for that noble hand of thine that hath thrown down so many enemies shall not be sent. My hand will serve the turn. My youth can better spare my blood than you, and therefore mine shall save my brothers' lives.
Which of your hands hath not defended Rome and reared aloft the bloody battle axe, writing destruction on the enemy's castle? Oh, none of both but are of high desert. My hand hath been but idle. Let it serve to ransom my two nephews from their death.
Nay, come, agree whose hand shall go along, for fear they die before their pardon come.
My hand shall go.
By heaven it shall not go.
Let me show a brother's love to thee.
Agree between you, I will spare my hand.
Then I'll go fetch an axe.
But I will use the axe.
Come hither, Aaron. Go away, Marcus. Come hither, Aaron. I'll deceive them both. Lend me thy hand, and I will give thee mine.
If that be called deceit, I will be honest.
Finger, yes, the finger! The whole hand! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! One more! Now stay your strife. What shall be is dispatched. No, good Aaron, give His Majesty my hand. Tell him that it was a hand that warded him from 1,000 dangers. Bid him bury it. As for my sons, say that I account of them. No, as jewels purchased as an easy price.
I go, Andronicus, and for thy hand look by and by to have thy sons with thee. Their heads, I mean. Oh, how this villainy doth set me with the very thoughts of it. Let fools do good, and fair men call for grace.
Oh, here I lift this one hand up to heaven and bow this feeble ruin to the earth. If any power pities wretched tears, to that I call. Oh, what? Wilt thou kneel with me? Oh, to do then, dear heart, for heaven shall hear our prayers. Oh, our sighs will breathe the welkin din, and stain the sun with fog, as sometimes clouds when they do hug him in their melting bosoms.
Oh, brother, speak with possibility. And do not break into these deep extremes.
Is my sorrow deep? Is not my sorrow deep, having no bottom? Then be my passions bottomless with them.
But yet let reason govern thy lament.
If there were reason for these miseries, then into limbs could I buy my woes. When heaven doth weep, doth not the earth overflow? And wilt thou have a reason for this coil? Then give me leave, for losers will have leave to ease their stomachs with their bitter tongues.
Worthy Andronicus, thou art ill repaid for thy good hand thou sentest the emperor. Here are the heads of thy 2 noble sons, and here's thy hand. In scorn to see thee sent back, thy griefs their sports, thy resolutions mocked, that woe is me to think upon thy woes, more than remembrance of my father's death.
These miseries are more than may be borne. To weep with them that weep doth ease some deal, but sorrow flouted at is double death.
Ah, that this sight should make so deep a wound, and yet detested life not shrink thereat, that ever death should let life bear his name, where life hath no more interest but to breathe.
Why dost thou laugh if it's not with this power?
I have not yet another tear to shed. Besides, this sorrow is but an enemy, and would usurp upon my watery eyes and make them blind with tributary tears. Then, which way shall I find revenge? For Huh? Ah, these two heads do seem to speak to me and threat me I shall never come to bliss till all these mischiefs be returned again, and even in their throats that have committed them come. Let me see what task I have to do. You heavy people, circle me about, that I may turn me to each one of you and swear unto my soul to right your wrongs. The vow is made. Come, brother, take a head, and in this hand the other will I bear. Oh, Lavinia, thou shalt be employed. These arms, bear thou my hand, and this, sweet wench, between my teeth, thy teeth. Now, as for thee, girl, go, get thee from my sight. Thou art an exile, and thou must not stay. Hie to the Goths and raise an army there. And if you love me, as I think you do, let's kiss and part, for we have much to do.
Farewell, Andronicus, my noble father, the woefulst man that ever lived in Rome. Farewell, proud Rome, till Lucius come again. He leaves his pledges dearer than his life. Farewell, Lavinia, my noble sister. Oh, thou wert as thou tofore hast been. But now nor Lucius nor Lavinia lives, but in oblivion and hateful griefs. If Lucius live, he will requite your wrongs, and make proud Saturnine and his empress beg at the gates, like Tarquin and his queen.
Hold on, wait, where?
Help, grandsire, help! My Aunt Lavinia follows me everywhere, I know not why. Good Uncle Marcus, see how swift she comes. Alas, sweet aunt, I know not what you mean.
Marcus!
Stand by me, Lucius. Do not fear thine aunt.
What would she find? Lavinia, shall I read? Oh, this is the tragic tale of Philomel, and treats of Terra's treason and his rape.
See, brother. See? Note how she quotes the leaves.
Lavinia, wert thou thus surprised, sweet girl, ravished and wronged as Philomel was, forced in the ruthless, vast, and gloomy woods? See, aye, such a place there is where we did hunt.
Oh, why should nature build so foul a den unless the gods delight in tragedies?
Oh, give signs, sweet girl. What Roman lord it was durst do the deed?
Sit down, sweet niece. Brother, sit down by me. My lord, look here. Look here. Lavinia. This sandy plot is plain. Guide, if thou canst, this after me. When I have writ my name without the help of any hand at all, right, thou couldst, and here display At last, what God will have discovered for revenge.
Chiron, Demetrius.
My lord, kneel down with me. Lavinia, kneel. And sweet girl, and kneel, sweet girl, and swear with me that we will prosecute by good advice mortal revenge upon these traitorous Goths and see their blood or die with this reproach.
'Tis sure enough, if you know how. But if you hunt these bear whelps, then beware. The dam will wake, and if she wind you once, she's with lion, deeply still in league, and lulls him while she playeth on her back. And while he sleeps, will she do what she list. You are a young huntsman, Marcus. Let it alone. And come, I will go get a leaf of brass, and with a gad of steel will wrap and lay it by. The angry northern wind will blow these sands like Sibyl's leaves abroad. And where's your lesson then? Girl, what say you?
I say, my lord, that if I were a man, their mother's bedchamber should not be safe for these bad bondmen to the yoke of Rome.
Aye, that's my girl. Thy father hath full oft for his ungrateful country done the like.
And uncle, so will I, and if I live.
Come, go with me unto mine armory. Oh, Lucius, I'll fit thee, and withal, my child, shall carry from me to the empress' sons presents that I intend to send to them both. Come, come, thou'll do my message, wilt thou not?
I with my dagger in their bosoms, grandsire.
No, child, not so. I'll teach thee another course. Lavinia, come, come. Marcus, look to my house.
Oh heavens, can you hear a good man groan and not relent, or not compassion in him? Marcus, attend him in his ecstasy, that hath more scars of sorrow in his heart than foeman's marks upon his battered shield. But yet so just that he will not revenge. Revenge, ye heavens, for old Andronicus!
Here lies the daughter of Lucius. He hath some message to deliver us.
Aye, some mad message from her mad grandfather.
My lords, with all the humbleness I may, I greet your honors from Andronicus. Pray the Roman gods confound you both.
For mercy, lovely Lucius. What's the news?
She were both deciphered, that's the news. Her villains marked with rape. May it please you, my grandsire, well advised, hath sent by me the goodliest weapons of his armory to gratify your honorable youth, the hope of Rome. For so he bade me say, and so I do, with his gifts present your lordships, that whenever you have need, you may be armed and appointed well. And so I leave you both. Bloody.
Let's hear a scroll written round about, let's see. Integer vitae, scelerii, isque porus non eget mori jaculis nec acu.
Oh, 'tis a verse in Horace. Yes, I know it well. I read it in grammar long ago.
Aye, just a verse in Horace. Right, you have it. Now, what a thing it is to be an ass. Here's no sound jest. The old man hath found their guilt, and sends them weapons wrapped about with lines that wound beyond their feeling to the quick. But were our witty empress well afoot, she would applaud Andronicus' conceit, but let her rest in her unrest a while.
Come, let us go and pray to all the gods for our beloved mother and her pains.
Pray to the devils. The gods have given us over.
Why do the emperor's trumpets flourish thus?
Oh, belike, for joy the emperor hath a son.
Soft, who comes here?
Oh, good morrow, lords. Oh, tell me, did you see Aaron the Moor?
Well, more or less, or ne'er a whit at all. Here Aaron is, and what with Aaron now?
Oh, gentle Aaron, we are all undone. Now help or woe betide thee evermore.
Why, what a caterwauling dost thou keep? What dost thou wrap and fumble in thine arms?
Oh, that which I would hide from heaven's eye, our empress's shame and stately Rome's disgrace. She is delivered, lords. Oh, she is delivered.
To whom?
I mean, she is brought to bed.
Well, God give her good rest. What hath he sent her?
Devil.
Why, then she is the devil's dam, a joyful issue.
A joyless, dismal, black, and sorrowful issue. Here is the babe as loathsome as a toad amongst the fairest breeders of our clime. The empress sends it to thee, thy stamp, thy seal, and bids thee christen it with thy dagger's point.
Zounds ye o'er! Is black so base a hue? Sweet blouse, you are a beauteous blossom, sure.
Villain, what hast thou done?
That which thou canst not undo.
Thou hast undone our mother.
Villain, I have done thy mother.
And therein, hellish dog, thou hast undone. Woe to her chance, and damned her loathed choice. Accursed the offspring of such foul a fiend.
It shall not live.
It shall not die.
Aaron, it must. The mother wills it so.
What must it, nurse? Then let no man but I do execution on my flesh and blood.
I'll broach the tadpole on my rapier's point. Nurse, give it to me. My sword shall soon dispatch it.
Sooner this steel shall plow thy bowels up. Stay, murderous villains. Will you kill your brother? Now, by the burning tapers of the sky that shone so brightly when this boy was got, he dies upon my scimitar's sharp point that touches this my firstborn son and heir. What, ye sanguine, shallow-hearted boys, ye white-limed walls, ye alehouse-painted signs, coal black is better than another hue, in that it scorns to bear another hue. For all the water in the ocean can never turn the swan's black legs to white. Although she lave them hourly in the flood, tell the empress from me, I am of age to keep mine own. Excuse it how she can.
Wilt thou betray thy noble mistress thus?
My mistress is my mistress. This myself, the vigor and the picture of my youth. This before all the world do I prefer. This martyr all the world will I keep safe, or some of you shall smoke for it in Rome.
Well, this our mother is forever shamed.
The emperor in his rage will doom her death.
I blush to think upon this ignominy.
Why, there's the privilege your beauty bears. Fie, treacherous you, that would betray with blushing the close enacts and counsels of the heart. Here's a young lad framed of another leer. Look how the black slave smiles upon the father, as who should say, old lad, I am thine own.
Aaron, what shall I say to the Empress?
Advise thee, Aaron, what is to be done, and what will all subscribe to thy advice. Save thou the child, so that we may all be safe.
Then sit we down, and let us all consult. My son and I will have the wind of you. Keep there. Now, talk at pleasure of your safety.
How many women saw this child of his?
Cornelia, the midwife, and myself, and no one else but the delivered Empress.
The Empress, the midwife, and yourself. Two may keep counsel when the third's away. Go to the Empress. Tell her this I said. So cries a pig prepared to the spit.
What meanst thou, Aaron? Wherefore doubtest thou this?
Oh, Lord, sir, 'tis a deed of policy. Shall she live to betray this guilt of ours? A long-tongued babbling gossip? No, lords, no. And now be it known to you my full intent. Not far one Mooley lives, my countryman. His wife, but yesternight, was brought to bed. His child is like to her, fair as you are. Go pack with him, and give the mother gold, and tell them both the circumstance of all, and how by this their child shall be advanced, and be received for the emperor's heir, and substituted in the place of mine, to calm this tempest whirling in the court, and let the emperor dandle him for his own. Hark ye, lords. Ye see I have given her physic, and you must needs bestow her funeral. The fields are near, and you are gallant grooms. This done, see that you take no longer days, but send the midwife presently to me. The midwife and the nurse well made away. Then let the ladies tattle what they please.
Aaron, I see thou wilt not trust the air with secrets.
For this, care of Tamora, herself and hers are highly bound to thee.
Now to the Goths, as swift as swallow flies, there to dispose this treasure in mine arms, and secretly to greet the Empress's friends. Come on, you thick-lipped slave, I'll bear you hence. For it is you that puts us to our shifts. I'll make you feed on berries and on roots, and feed on curds and whey, and suck the goat, and cabin in a cave, and bring you up to be a warrior, and command a camp.
Come, Marcus! Come, kinsman, this is the way! Sir boy, now let me see your archery! Look, ye draw home enough, and 'tis there straight. Terrace astray, ya reliquate! Be you remembered, Marcus? She's gone, she's fled. Sirs, take to your tools. You, cousin, shall go sound the ocean and cast your nets. Happily you may catch her in the sea, yet there's as little justice as at land. No, Publius and Sempronius, you must do it. 'Tis you must dig with mattock and with spade, and pierce the inmost center of the earth. Then, when you come to Pluto's region, I pray you, deliver him this petition. I pray you, tell him it is for justice and for aid, and that it comes from old Andronicus, shaken with sorrows and ungrateful Rome. Rome. Well, I made thee miserable. What time I threw the people's suffrages on him that thus doth tyrannize over me. Go, get you gone, and pray be careful all, and leave you not a man of war unsearched. This wicked emperor may have shipped her hence, and kinsmen, then we may go pipe for justice.
Oh, Publius, is not this a heavy case to see thy noble uncle thus detract?
Therefore, my lord, it highly us concerns by day and night to attend him carefully and feed his humor kindly as we may, till time beget some careful remedy.
Kinsman, his sorrows are past remedy.
Tubulus, how now, my masters, how now? Marcus, we are but shrubs, no cedars we, no big-boned men framed of the cyclops size, but metal. Marcus, steel to the very back, yet wrung with wrongs more than our backs can bear. And sith there is no justice in earth nor hell, we will solicit heaven and move the gods to send down justice for to wreak our wrongs. Come to this gear. You are a good archer, Marcus. Here, add Jovium, that's for you there. Add Apollonium there. Here, girl, to Pallas. Here, to Mercury, to Saturn, Caius. Not to Saturnine. No, you against the wind, eh? Marcus, loose when I bid. Of my word, I have written to effect there's not a god left unsolicited.
Kinsman, shoot all your shafts into the court. We will afflict the emperor in his pride.
Now, masters, draw!
My lord, I aim a mile beyond the moon. It's with Jupiter by this.
Oh, why? Oh, there it goes! Oh, God, give his lordship joy! News from heaven! No, Marcus, the post has come. Oh, Sarah, what tidings? Have you any letters? Shall I have any justice? What says Jupiter?
Oh, the gibbet maker? He says that he hath taken them down again, but the man must not be hanged till next week.
But what says Jupiter, I ask thee?
Alas, sir, I know not Jupiter. I never drank with him in all my life.
Why, villain, art thou not the carrier?
I, of my pigeons, sir, but nothing else.
Why, didst thou not come from heaven?
Oh, from heaven! Alas, sir, I never came there, God forbid! I should be so bold to press to heaven in my young days. Why, I am going with my pigeons to the tribunal plebes, to take up a matter of brawl betwixt mine uncle and one of the imperial's men.
Why, sir, that is as fit as can be to serve for your oration, and let him deliver the pigeons to the emperor from you.
Tell me, can you deliver an oration to the emperor with a grace?
No, truly, sir. I could never say grace in all my life.
Sirrah, come hither. Oh, make no more ado, but give your pigeons to the emperor. By me, thou shalt have justice at his hands. Hold. Meanwhile, here's some money for thy charges. Give me pen and ink. Sirrah, can you with grace deliver a supplication?
Aye, sir.
Well, then here's the supplication for you. And when you come to him, at the first approach, you must kneel. Then kiss his foot. Then deliver up your pigeons. And then look for your reward. I'll be at hand, sir. See that you do it bravely.
I warrant you, sir. Let me alone.
Oh, Sirrah, hast thou a knife? Come, let me see it. Here, Marcus, folded in the oration, for thou hast made it like a humble suppliant, and when thou hast given it the emperor, knock at my door and tell me what he says.
God be with you, sir. I will.
Come, Marcus, let us go. Publius, follow me.
Why, lords, what wrongs are these? Was ever an emperor in Rome thus overborne, troubled, confronted thus, and for the extent of equal justice used in such contempt? My lords, you know, as I know, the nightful gods, however, these disturbers of the peace buzz in the people's ears that not as past, but even with law against the willful sons of old Andronicus. And what if his sorrows have so overwhelmed his wits? Shall we be thus afflicted, and his weeks, his fits, his fury, his bitterness, and now he writes to heaven for his redress? See, here's to Job, this to Mercury, this to Apollo, this to the god of war, sweet scrolls to fly about the streets of Rome. What's this but libeling against the Senate and blazing out injustice everywhere? A goodly humor, is it not, my lords? As who would say, in Rome no justice were, but if I live, his feigned ecstasies shall be no shelter to these outrages, but he and his shall know that justice lives in Saturnalius' health, whom, if he sleep, he'll be so awake as she in fury shall cut off the proudest conspirator that lives.
My gracious lord, my lovely Saturnine, calm thee, and bear the faults of Titus' age, the effects of sorrow for his valiant sons, whose loss hath pierced him deep and scarred his heart.
What news with thee, Emilius?
Arm, my lord. Rome never had more cause. The Goths have gathered head, and with a power high-resolved men bent to the spoil. They hither march amain, under conduct of Lucius, son to old Andronicus, who threats in course of this revenge to do as much as ever Coriolanus did.
Is warlike Lucius, general of the Goths? Aye, now begin our sorrows to approach. 'Tis he the common people love so much. Myself hath often overheard them say, when I have walked like a private man, that Lucius's banishment was wrongfully, and that they have wished that Lucius were their emperor.
Why should you fear? Is not your city strong?
Aye, but the citizens favor Lucius, and will revolt from me to succor him.
King, be thy thoughts imperious like thy name. Is the sun dimmed that gnats do fly in it? Then cheer thy spirit, for know thou, emperor, I will enchant the old Andronicus with words more sweet and yet more dangerous than baits to fish or honey stalks to sheep.
But he will not entreat his son for us.
If Tamara entreat him, then he will. Go thou before, be our ambassador. Say that the emperor requests a parley of warlike Lucius, and appoint the meeting even at his father's house, the old Andronicus.
Emilius, do this message honorably. And if he stand on hostage for his safety, bid him demand what pledge will please him best.
What bidding shall I do effectually?
Now will I to that old Andronicus and temper him with all the art I have.
Then go successfully and plead to him.
Approved warriors, and my faithful friends, I have received letters from great Rome, which signify what hate they bear their emperor, and how desirous of our sight they are. Therefore, great lords, be as your titles witness, imperious and impatient of your wrongs, and wherein Rome hath done you any scath, let him make treble satisfaction.
Brave slip, sprung from the great Andronicus, whose name was once our terror, now our comfort, whose high exploits and honorable deeds in grateful Rome requites with foul contempt, be bold in us. We'll follow where thou leadest, and be avenged on cursed Nora.
O worthy Goth, this is the incarnate devil that robbed Andronicus of his good hand. This is the pearl that pleased your empress eye, and here's the base fruit of his burning lust. Say, wall-eyed slave, whither wouldst thou convey this growing image of thy fiend-like face? Why dost not speak? What, deaf? Not a word? A halter, soldiers! Hang him on this tree, and by his side his fruit of bastardy.
Touch not the boy, he is of royal blood.
Too like the sire for ever being good. First hang the child, that he may see it sprawl, a sight to vex the father's soul withal. Get me a ladder.
Lucius, save the child. If thou do this, I'll show thee wondrous things that highly may advantage thee to hear. If thou wilt not, befall what may befall. I'll speak no more, but vengeance wrought you all.
Say on, and if it please me which thou speak'st, thy child shall live, and I will see it nourished.
And if it please thee, why, assure thee, Lucius, 'twill vex thy soul to hear what I shall speak. For I must talk of murders, rapes, and massacres, acts of black night, abominable deeds, complots of mischief, treason, villainies, and this shall all be buried by my death, unless you swear to me my child shall live.
Tell on thy mind, I say thy child shall live.
Swear that he shall, and then I will begin.
Who should I swear by? Thou believest no God.
What if I do not? As indeed I do not. Yet, for I know thou art religious, and hast the thing within thee called conscience. Therefore, thou shalt vow by that same God, what God soever it be, that thou adorest and hast in reverence to save my boy, to nourish and bring him up, or else I will discover naught to thee.
Even by my God, I swear to thee I will.
First know thou, I begot him on the empress.
Oh, most insatiate and luxurious woman.
Lucius, this was but a deed of charity, to that which thou shalt hear of me anon. 'Twas her 2 kids that murdered Bassianus. They cut thy sister's tongue and ravished her, and cut her hands and trimmed her as thou sawest.
Oh, detestable villain! Call'st thou that trimming?
Why, she was washed and cut and trimmed, and 'twas trim sport for them that had the doing of it.
Oh, barbarous, beastly villains, like thyself.
Indeed, I was their tutor to instruct them. That codding spirit had they from their mother. That bloody mind, I think, they learned from me. Well, let my deeds be witness of my worth. I trained thy brethren to that guileful hole where the dead corpse of Bassianus lay. I wrote the letter that thy father found and hid the gold within the letter mentioned. And when I had it, drew myself apart, and when I told the empress of this sport, she swooned almost at my pleasing tale, and for my tidings gave me 20 kisses.
What? Canst thou say all this and never blush?
Aye, like a black dog, as the saying is.
Art thou not sorry for these heinous deeds?
Aye, that I had not done 1,000 more. Even now, I curse the day, and yet I think few come within the compass of my curse, wherein I did not some notorious ill as kill a man, or else devise his death, ravish a maid, or plot the way to do it, accuse some innocent and forswear myself, set deadly enmity between two friends, make poor men's cattle break their necks, set fire on barns and haystacks in the night, and bid the owners quench them with their tears. Oft I have digged up dead men from their graves and set them upright at their dear friends' doors, even when their sorrows almost were forgot, and on their skins, as on the bark of trees, have with my knife carved in Roman letters, "Let not your sorrow die, though I am dead." I have done 1,000 dreadful things, as willingly as one would kill a fly, and nothing grieves me heartily indeed, but that I cannot do 10,000.
Bring down the devil, for he must not die so sweet a death as hanging presently.
If there be devils, would I were a devil to live and burn in everlasting fire, so I might have your company in hell, but to torment you with my bitter tongue.
Sirs, stop his mouth and let him speak no more.
My lord, there is a messenger from Rome desires to be admitted to your presence.
Welcome, Emilius. What's the news from Rome?
Lord Lucius and you princes of the Goths, the Roman emperor greets you all by me. And for he understands you are in arms, he craves a parley at your father's house, willing you to demand your hostages, and they shall be immediately delivered.
What says our general?
Emilius, let the emperor give his pledges unto my father and my uncle Marcus, and we will come.
Thus, in this strange and sad habiliment, I will encounter with Andronicus, and say I am revenge, sent from below to join with him and right his heinous wrongs. Knock at his study, where they say he keeps, to ruminate strange plots of dire revenge. Tell him revenge is come to join with him and work confusion on his enemies.
Who doth molest my contemplation? Is it your trick to make me open the door that my sad decrees may fly away and all my study be to no effect? You are deceived, for what I mean to do, see here in bloody lines I have set down, and what is written shall be executed.
Titus, I am come to talk with thee.
No, not a word. How can I grace my talk, wanting a hand to give it action? No, that's of me, therefore no more.
If thou didst know me, thou wouldst talk with me.
Oh, I am not mad, for I know thee well enough. You, for our proud empress, mighty Tamara. Huh? Is I not coming from my other hand?
No, thou sad man, I am not Tamara. She is thy enemy, and I thy friend. I am revenge, sent from the infernal kingdom to ease the gnawing vulture of thy mind by working wreakful vengeance on thy foes. Come down and welcome me to this world's light. Confer with me of murder and death There's not a hollow cave or lurking place, no vast obscurity or misty vale where bloody murder or detested rape can couch for fear, but I will find them out, and in their ears tell them my dreadful name, Revenge, which makes the foul offender quake.
Art thou revenge? And art thou sent to me to be a torment to mine enemies?
I am. Therefore come down and welcome me.
Do me some service ere I come to thee. Lo, by thy side where rape and murder stands. Now, give me some assurance that thou art revenged. Now, stab them, or tear them on thy chariot wheels, and then I'll come and I'll be thy wagoner, and whirl along with thee about the globe. Provide thee with 2 proper palfreys, black as jet, to hail the vengeful wagons swift away, and find out murderers in their guilty caves, and when thy car is loaded with their heads, I will dismount, and by their wagon wheel trot like a servile footman all day long, even from Hyperion's rising in the east until his very downfall in the sea. And day by day I'll do this heavy task, so thou destroy rapine and murder there.
These are my ministers, and come with me.
Oh, are these thy ministers? What are they called?
Rapine and murder. Therefore called so, cause they take vengeance of such kind of men.
Oh, Lord, how like the Empress kids they are. And you, the Empress. Oh, but we worldly men have miserable man mistaking eyes. Oh, sweet revenge. Now I do, and if one arm's embracement will content thee, I will embrace thee in it by and by.
This closing with him fits his lunacy. Whate'er I forge to feed his brain-sick fits, do you uphold and maintain in your speeches. For now he firmly takes me for revenge, and being credulous in this mad thought, I'll make him send for Lucius, his son. See, here he comes, and I must fly my theme.
Long have I been forlorn, and all for thee. Welcome, dread fury, to my woeful house. Rapine and murder, you are welcome too. Oh, how like the Empress and your son you are, huh? Well, you are fitted. Had you but a more, could all hell afford you such a devil?
What wouldst thou have us do, Andronicus?
Show me a murderer, and I'll deal with him.
Show me a villain that hath done a rape, and I am set to be revenged on him.
Show me 1,000 that have done thee wrong, and I will be revenged on them all.
Hell, look around about the wicked streets of Rome, and when thou findest a man that's like thyself, good murder, stab him. He's a murderer. Go thou with him, and when it is thy hap to find another that is like to thee, good rapine, stab him. He's a ravisher. Now go thou with them, and in the emperor's court, oh, there is a queen, attended by a Moor. Well mayest thou know her by thy own proportion. Yeah, for up and down she doth resemble thee. I pray thee, do on them some violent death. They have been violent to me.
Well hast thou lessoned us. This shall we do. But would it please thee, good Andronicus, to send for Lucius, thy thrice valiant son? I will bring the Empress and all thy. I will bring in the Empress and her sons, the Emperor himself and all thy foes. And at thy mercy shalt they stoop and kneel, and on them shalt thou ease thy angry heart. What says Andronicus to this device?
Marcus, my brother, 'tis sad Titus calls. Oh.
This will I do.
Oh, good. Go, gentle. No, listen,
Soon
brother, first.
return.
No, Marcus. Go, gentle Marcus, to thy nephew Lucius. Thou shalt inquire him out among the Goths. Bid him repair to me, and bring with him some of the chiefest princes of the Goths. Tell him the emperor and the empress too feast at my house, and he shall feast with them. This do thou for my love, and so let him, as he regards his aged father's life.
This will I do, and soon return again.
Now will I hence about thy business, and take my ministers along with me.
Let rape and murder stay with me. I'll call my brother back again and cleave no revenge but Lucius.
What say you? Will you bide with him while I go tell my lord the emperor how I have governed our determined jest?
I know them all, though they suppose me mad, and will overreach them in their own devices, a pair of cursed hellhounds and their dam.
Madame, departed pleasure, leave us here.
Farewell, Andronicus. Revenge now goes to lay a complot to betray thy foes.
I know thou dost, and sweet revenge, farewell, bye-bye.
Tell us, old man, how shall we be employed?
Oh, Tut, I have work enough for you to do. Publius, come hither. Caius and Valentine.
What is your will?
Know you these two?
The Empress kids, I take them. Chiron and Demetrius.
Fie, Publius, fie. Thou art too much deceived. No, this one is murder, rapes the other's name, and therefore bind them, gentle Publius. Caius and Valentine, lay hands on them and stop their mouths if they begin to cry.
Villains! Forbear! We are the Empress's kids!
And therefore do we what we are commanded. Stop, close their mouths. Let them not speak a word. Is he sure bound? Look that you bind him fast.
Come. Lavinia, thy foes are bound. Sir, stop their mouths. Let them not speak to me. But let them hear what fearful words I utter. Oh, villains, Chiron and Demetrius. Here stands the spring whom you have stained with mud. This goodly summer with your winter mixed. You killed her husband, and then for that vile fault, 2 of her brothers were condemned to death. My hand cut off and made a merry jest. Both her sweet hands, her tongue, and that more dear than hand or tongue, her spotless chastity, inhuman traitors you constrained and forced. What would you say if I let you speak? Villains, for shame, you could not beg for grace. Hark, wretches, hear and how I mean to martyr you. This one hand yet is left to cut your throats, whilst Lavinia, between her stumps, doth hold the basin that receives your guilty blood. You know your mother means to feast with me, and calls herself revenge, and thinks me mad. Hark, villains! I will grind your bones to dust, and with your blood it I'll make a paste, and of the paste a coffin I will rear, and make 2 pasties of your shameful heads. And bid that strumpet, your unhallowed dam, like to the earth swallow her own increase. This is the feast that I have bid her to, and this her banquet shall she surfeit on, for worse than Philomel you used my daughter, and worse than Progny I shall be with it. And now, prepare your throats. Lavinia, come. Receive the blood. And when they are dead, let me go grind their bones to powder order small and with hateful liquor temperate. And in that let their vile heads be baked. Come, come, let everyone be officious, and to make this banquet, for I may prove it more stern and bloody than the centaur's feast. So bring them in, for I'll play the cook, and see them ready against their mother comes.
The feast is ready, which the careful Titus hath ordained to an honorable end, for peace, for love, for leave, and good to Rome. Please you, therefore, draw nigh and take your places.
Marcus, we will.
Alouette, gentil, alouette, alouette, gentil, alouette, gentil,
Alouette, alouette, gentil de mon ré.
Oh, welcome, my gracious lord. Welcome, dread queen. Welcome, ye warlike Goths, and welcome, gentle Lucius. See, and welcome all. Though the cheer be poor, 'twill fill your stomachs. Please you, eat of it.
Why art thou thus attired, Andronicus?
Oh, because I was sure to have you all well, to entertain your highness and your empress.
We are beholding to you, good Andronicus.
And if your highness knew my heart, you were. My lord the emperor, resolve me this. Was it well done of rash Virginius to slay his own daughter with his own right hand, and because she was enforced, stained, and deflowered?
It was, Andronicus.
Your reason, mighty lord?
Well, because the girl should not survive her shame, and by her presence still renews his sorrows.
Yes, a reason, mighty, strong, and effectual. Yes. A pattern precedent and lively warrant. For me, most wretched, to perform the like. Die, Lavinia. Die. And thy shame with thee. Thy sorrow's father die.
What hast thou done, unnatural and unkind?
I killed her for whom my tears have made me blind. I am as woeful as Virginius was, and have 1,000 times more cause than he to do this outrage. And now it is done.
What? Was she ravished? Tell who did the deed.
Why hast thou slain thine only daughter thus?
Not I. 'Twas Chiron and Demetrius. They ravaged her and cut out her tongue, and 'twas they that did her all this wrong.
Go fetch them hither to us presently.
Why, there they are both, baked in that pie, whereon her mother daintily hath fed, eating the flesh that she herself hath bred. 'Tis true, witness my knife's sharp point.
Die, frantic wretch, for this accursed deed!
Ah!
Can the son's eye behold his father bleed? There's meed for meed, death for a deadly deed.
You sad-faced men, people and sons of Rome, by uproar severed, like a flight of fowls scattered by winds and high tempestuous gusts, Oh, let me teach you how to knit again this scattered corn into one mutual sheaf. These broken limbs again into one body. Come, come, thou reverend man of Rome, and bring our emperor gently into thy hand. Lucius, our emperor, for well I know the common voice do cry, it shall be so.
Lucius.
Lucius, all hail, Rome's royal emperor.
All hail, Rome's royal emperor. Go, go into old Titus's sorrowful house, and hither hail that misbelieving Moor to be adjudged some direful slaughtering death as punishment for his most wicked life.
Thanks, gentle Romans, may I govern so, to heal Rome's harm and wipe away her woe. But gentle people, give me aim a while, for nature puts me to a heavy task. Stand all aloof, but uncle, draw you near, to shed obsequious tears upon this trunk. Oh, take this warm kiss on thy pale, cold lips. These sorrowful drops upon thy blood-stained face, the last true duties of thy noble son.
Tear for tear, and loving kiss for kiss. Thy brother Marcus tenders on my lips. Thy brother Marcus tenders on thy lips. Oh, were the sum of these that I should pay countless and infinite, yet would I pay them.
Come hither, girl. Come, come and learn of us, to melt in showers. Thy grandsire loved thee well. Many a time he danced thee on his knee, sung thee asleep, his loving breast thy pillow. Many a matter hath he told to thee, meet and agreeing with thine infancy. In that respect, then, like a loving child, shed yet some small drops from thy tender spring, because kind nature doth require it so. Friends should associate friends in grief and woe. Bid him farewell, commit him to the grave, do him that kindness, and take leave of him.
Oh, grandsire, grandsire, even with all my heart would I were dead, so you did live again. Oh, Lord, I cannot speak to him for weeping. My tears will choke me if I open my mouth.
You sad Andronike have done with all woes. Give sentence on this execrable wretch that hath been the breeder of these dire events.
Set him breast deep in earth and famish him. There let him stand and rave and cry for food. If anyone relieves him or pities him, for the offence he dies. This is our doom. Some stay to see him fastened in the earth.
Oh, why should wrath be mute and fury dumb? I am no baby. I, that with base prayers I should repent the evils I have done. 10,000 worse than ever yet I did would I perform if I might have my will. If one good deed in all my life I did, I do repent it from my very soul.
Some loving friends convey the emperor hence, and give him burial in his father's grave. My father and Lavinia shall forthwith be closed in our household's monument. As for that heinous tiger, Tamora, no funeral rite, nor man in mourning weeds, no mournful bell shall ring her burial, but throw her forth to beasts and birds of prey. Her life was beast-like and devoid of pity, and being so, shall have like want of pity. See justice done on Aaron, that damned Moor, by whom our heavy haps had their beginning. Then, afterwards, to order well the state, that like events may ne'er it ruinate.